WRBI Batesville, Greensburg, Versailles, Brookville now presents Southeastern Indiana's longest running and most listened to sports show. It's Coach's Corner, broadcasting live from the Coach Raver Corner at Ison's Family Pizza. Listen on 103.9 FM or the WRBI app. And now you can watch the show happen live too at WRBI-TV.com or on our Facebook page. Here is the host of Coach's Corner, Coach Rob LaFerry.
And from the friendly confines of the Raver Corner here in downtown Batesville, courtesy of Ison's Family Pizza, we say good evening and welcome to Coach's Corner. We have got ourselves a very filled show tonight. We've got high school football to talk about. We've also got girls soccer and girls golf on the program. Rob LaFerry with you on this Monday night. And without further ado, of course, the guy who always leads us off, Batesville head football coach Evan Ulrey. And Coach Ulrey and company 3-1 after last Friday night. 39-28 victory at home over Rushville on homecoming. And Coach, we talked about it on Friday night, 12-0 down in the first quarter, but a really nice effort there in the second and third. Got the job done, pick up a W.
Yeah, I mean, I thought our guys responded well. A little adversity, maybe some of it self-inflicted, but, a lot of distractions and some moving parts, some things I'm sure you guys noticed, and had some guys, needing to step up early on in that game, I thought, Calvin Padgett came in, started at quarterback and orchestrated a good second drive, and really even the first drive, not too bad. We had a penalty that kind of pushed us back, and then we were kind of like in that no man's zone where you could potentially go for it or not. We elect to punt the ball, and Isaac Limmel, who first game having to punt, he dropped a 47-yard punt right at the 1-yard line, and you're thinking good. And then 2 plays later, they heave a 98-yard jump ball, and you're down 12-0. But that was our one drive I think we did not score on, and I think really after that 12-0. We settled in. I thought we finished that half pretty well, started the second half for the most part well. Actually, I take that back. We didn't score on the first drive at the second half because of the interception. But overall, we punted the ball one time. But overall, I thought our offense played really, really well, both with Calvin Padgett, Dylan Shane at quarterback. But had some adversity. Guys handled it really well. Proud of them, 3-1, and, can't complain.
We talked about Calvin Padgett starting a quarterback for you on Friday night. There were some different moving pieces around because you had Ajon Herbert who started at that running back spot. Of course, we see Dylan Shane back at quarterback. We see Zayden Small back at running back. And with those two, a combined 5 touchdowns on the ground. And that run game just continues to develop. And you and I talked about it. Even you throw in guys like Caden Vogelsang, who ran the ball as well. Those pieces are starting to add up even more. You're starting to develop that arsenal that you were hoping for on offense.
We are. And, I mean, obviously, Zayden Small is electric, and he's the starting running back. And, he's been kind of obviously missed pretty much all but one snap against South Dearborn, which made a major impact for our team. And he really did not practice at all last week. It was just kind of load management, I guess you could say, or just kind of make sure he's right. And, I wanted to make sure that he was 100% good. He's got an injury that, you got to make sure that that's the case, or it can be a setback. And he was honest, good. Tim Wells, our trainer, and did a great job of taking care and giving me the information needed to make the right decision for Zayden Small. And so it was nice that he was able to get in because, he comes in and rushes for just shy of 200 yards, a couple touchdowns, as you mentioned. Dylan Shane, I thought handled the situation very well. Calvin got the start, took the first 2 series. He led a touchdown drive, comes in, and those are 2 different guys, right? And two different styles of quarterbacks. But Dylan did a very good job. He finished off a lot of drives down around the goal line. He gives you that running dimension. But overall, very pleased. And the one staple that's been very consistent is the growth of our offensive line. I think Matthew Mayer continues to get really better and solidifying there at that right tackle position. He's filled in for Lance Weiler, who didn't play. He's been a big piece for us. And then, Lance kind of, again, similar situation as Zayden, kind of nursing an injury that you got to be very careful with. So he was good to go, but again, we still wanted to put him in spots where we could, prevent to our best of ability to have a setback. And I thought he was a little more limited than Zayden, but in regards to what kind of our pitch count per se. And but again, now we're about 6-7 guys deep on that offensive line that's playing really well. Brody Mock at tight end was a really, I think, a high point for us. He caught a couple balls, but continued to block really, really well. And we're getting good pieces from Rylan Yeager, Trenton Jordan, and Jackson Elson.
Quentin's not going to be a wide receiver.
I was going to say, if his mom's listening, good old Q. I don't know if he would have played a receiver, but Jackson Elston, that trio has really, I think, been big for us as we go down. And like you said, we're getting that balance we want offensively. That was the issue we were running early on. Teams could pack the box. They weren't afraid of anything. Our offensive line was struggling early, but we have been saying for the last few weeks, it's a work of art. There's a lot of craft, a lot of communication. They're getting together. They're gelling together very, very well. I'm very, very pleased with that growth.
Defensively, I know we talked about Friday night. Tackling at times is still an area of improvement and developing on that piece. But again, you're still throwing some different guys in there. I know Carson Benjamin got the start for you at linebacker on Friday night. I thought he played pretty well.
Yeah, Carson, I'm very proud of him. He's a senior. He opportunity presented him. Sebastian Hall out, and it's a big loss to our defense. But Carson Benjamin in, and Carson played hard, and I thought, you assess and go back and look. I thought he played a pretty sound football game. Collectively, tackling was horrendous at times, and some of it's just sloppy, just out of character. You go back to see that it's like I could sit and talk about the offensive growth, but then there are times where defensively, I feel like at times we regress at times because I thought we were sound in tackling. You go back to the first week or two, like just very sound, and then I think we kind of just have kind of ran into some bumps here, and so that's a reflection on me and making sure that we're getting better at that aspect, and so we'll take pride in that, and guys will continue to grow because we're going to need Carson to continue to step up, and we need just collectively our defense to continue to lift because it has been a strength of ours really for the first 3 weeks. Last Friday we had junctures from the second and third quarter, two shutout quarters. Fourth quarter we gave up a couple late touchdowns. Some of that I think, or maybe some other things, like you said, tackling is one, but there's some other pieces I think it played into that. I'm not going to go too negative on it. We talked on Friday trying to get some certain guys rotated in and to really see how they could respond and play, and we're trying to build that depth just collectively at all those positions.
We mentioned guys so far here during this segment. Again, we're talking Batesville football with head coach Evan Ulrey, but you mentioned Jackson Elston. We've got Brody Mock in there. You've got Camden Kaiser, who is such a big anchor on the left side of the O-line for you. Gage Lancaster was back, and I thought had some moments where he played well on Friday night. That's all that sophomore class, and we had talked in episode 1 how crucial they are going to be. I think we're seeing that through 4 ball games.
They are, and I kind of joke. I forget Camden's only a sophomore.
He doesn't look like one.
Does not look like one.
It's not about the size of one either.
And if he hears this, he acts like one. But he and his dad, I'm sure, could agree. But he definitely plays well above. Right, you look at it and you're like, oh man, it's a big senior, it's a big football player, and he's only a sophomore. The other guy too that we've been talking about, you may have mentioned his name, is Max Meyer. Max has had a phenomenal season. He has been a staple on the defense on the back end. You almost forget. I tell people sometimes you forget because it's so quiet that nothing's really being thrown that much his way. Usually he's pretty sound in the tackling. it's kind of one of the times like people forget about a certain position because they're quietly just doing their job, right? Everyone knows when a DB blows a coverage, right? Everybody in the stands like, what in the world? Or when the offensive line misses a block, but they don't sometimes realize when they're doing it consistently. And he has been a very consistent piece for us, and is going to continue to be a big part of our defense the rest of this year and moving forward. He's just very heady, very just smart, and can adjust very well. Just kind of got some natural leadership skills, and been very pleased. Like you mentioned, Brody Mock has been another guy. We've been high on Brody, and he continues to work. He's getting stronger. It's very important what we want to do, and definitely running the football, is that you have a tight end that can block, but also catch. And he's now starting to show like, hey, there is that added dimension that he can be someone that can catch a ball. And if it wasn't for a little block in the back, I think he probably didn't even need that block, and he gets a walk-in touchdown. That one was obviously called back, but so he's adding that dimension. Gage Lancaster has played solid for us. Obviously he had an opportunity to present him to play corner, and he took it and ran with it. And but yeah, I mean, there's just the list goes on. You mentioned those guys, and that just the pieces they have, and I think there's more. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. There's more that these guys in that sophomore class, even there's a couple freshmen. I think that we're almost at the halfway point, but some guys that are continuing to get better and better and better, and the gap between them and the varsity, or how well they're playing at the reserve level. Don't be surprised to see a few more. With that sophomore class, that's a very big class for us, and a class that's got a lot of guys that we're very, very high on.
Nearing that midway mark of the regular season, you guys are back at home coming up this Friday night, and going through making notes. The only thing I could put after this team's name was enough said, and that would be East Central is in town coming up on Friday, 3-1 on the season. They're still ranked 5th in Class 5A. They were down 14-0 against Franklin County last Friday night. They stormed back 35 unanswered points. You know this is a challenge. Your players know this is a challenge, and an opportunity not just to go out and compete with a really good football team, but also use this game as a measuring stick.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what it is. You just go out and you're going to, you're looking at it as a competitor, as an opportunity, like every Friday, to go out, compete, get a win, and go get better, right? It's all, I mean, that's the beauty of Indiana, is that everybody makes the tournament, so it's all about getting to week 10 and playing your best football at week 10. East Central, we've scrimmaged them back in week 0, and we talked about it in that. I was all about scrimmaging East Central week 0 because it allowed us to kind of see, where are we really deficient? Yeah, that we thought that was the case. Yep, that definitely is the case. Or we thought we were really good at that. No, we're not. Or on the other side, like, we thought that maybe this was a concern, but no, this is actually an area that we're actually pretty strong in. It was a great thing, and it's a true assessment. East Central is going to test you in so many aspects, and really, I think, maybe reinforce or identify some areas that you're weak or strong in. And now here we go. We get them in the middle of the year, and so I go back to that allowed us, I think, in preparation in playing week 1 against a really good Triton Central team, right? And I think allowed us to have some reality. Now here we are, week 5. We know what the next couple of weeks look like, is that the reality is that we have 2 really good football teams in front of us, and we're going to really find out internally. I think some of it's kind of more internally, is who are we? Who are we, and how are we gonna take it, and how are we gonna adjust and grow? And but yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, East Central's enough said. They're a great program. Like I told you on Friday, they are the standard of Southeast Indiana, and arguably one of the best programs in the state of Indiana. So we got our hands full, but our guys are excited for the challenge.
And obviously, you guys watch film, and you're going to go and practice and prepare all this week. And physical preparation certainly is a big part of this. Kind of want to go to a lengthy winning streak. I believe now the win streak against Southeastern Indiana teams for East Central is like a 68-game win streak. Is there a mental aspect to getting ready for East Central? Is there kind of a mental roadblock that perhaps you want to try and get these guys past and say, hey, yeah, this is what they do, but also keep in your mind that you've got the opportunity to go out and compete and maybe even expose a few things?
Well, I'm not going to say that there isn't a mental piece. I think obviously when, a team is as dominant as they are, everybody knows, hey, it's a tall task. Yeah, you're going to have to go in. You're going to have to play your A game. If we go in and play our B or C game, are we going to beat East Central? That's a rhetorical. No, that's not going to happen. So, but you got to go in and you got to say, hey, we got to go in and we're not going to back down. We're going to go in, we're going to play our game, and we're going to be physical, and we're going to do what we do. And when the chips fall, the chips will fall. But there have been plenty of times, Rob, that we've been right there. And last year,
close game for a long time. Yeah,
4 minutes to go, we have the ball to go win the game on the road at East Central. Now, how many people would have told you that after Kate Kaiser went down? Right? No one would. No. So I think our guys, they have to look at it as listen, is East Central the same team? No, they're not the same team last year. We've had that conversation. These are two different teams. It's a different year. And, but our guys have played, their juniors have played our juniors, their seniors have played our seniors, sophomore, whatever it is. Right. And, there's been some success and some things, that have gone well. It's not it's been all, in the dumpster, but obviously East Central's won more times than not, but I think there is an aspect of hey, I think I know our guys know that they can line up and compete with these guys, right? And but it's about consistency over 4 quarters, and it's a tall task. Yes. Is it impossible? No, we gotta lock in on the details. We gotta get better this entire week and go compete, maybe get a couple breaks, play clean football, put ourselves in a position to go and go win a game. Ultimately, in the end, it's 1 week. It's 1 week. It's one game. Does it define our game or define our season? No. Go back to last year. We played really well week 5, and guess what happened week 6? It wasn't very pretty, right? But did week 6 define the rest of the season? No. So it's kind of that whole thing is that for high school kids, sometimes they get so kind of caught up just in the moment. But it's just a process. Continue to get better. 1 week does not define the next. It does not define, but just continue to get better each and every week. It's a battle. It's going to be a big battle for us. But we just got to go compete, win more plays than we lose, and let the chips fall. But we're going to go all out. We're not going in to find a moral victory or anything like that. We're going in to win. We want to win and do something that hasn't been done in a long time, and that is, I think, probably 12, 13 years, and that's BD Central.
Final question tonight, Coach. You mentioned Cade Kaiser a little bit ago while you guys were out winning your ball game on Friday night. Cade had some crimson and cream on, getting the chance to suit up for IU football on Friday night. I know not in for any snap, but it was really cool to go back home that night and see that Kaiser on the back of his jersey on the Big Ten Network, and certainly a lot of pride, not just for him being in that situation, but to come back the way he has with the game of football after last year's injury. It's got to make your chest stick out a little bit.
I don't know about me. For me, I'm just happy for Cade. I am. When you get that call or that message last year, and you hear a kid's going to lose his senior season, it's gut wrenching. It's like a punch to the stomach, and you're like, man, a kid that has given and devoted so much, and he's going to have this opportunity on a really good football team that's their mission is to get to the state championship and win it, and this team believes that can happen. And, to have that, and it's like, oh, my goodness, and then for him to kind of grow as a young man on how to do that stuff, how do I make an impact off the field, right? And I was proud of that. And then for him to be able to put another helmet on and to be able to put the pads on again and it to also be a cream and crimson, that's pretty sweet too, right? You can't go wrong with that. So it's awesome. So I'm just happy for him. I am, and he's put in the time. He's put in the work. He's got a great set of parents and a very supportive family that I know is very proud of him, and they're proud of all their boys and grandkids. So, but no, it's awesome. It's awesome to see, and I know sky is the limit for him. And, he's setting a great example. And that class in general has some kids that we could sit and have a whole show on, right? That really, they set a great example, and they got great parents and just great resources and people that supported them all the way through.
All right, Coach, we'll go ahead and let you go. You've got Tom and Rob Moorhead with you on Friday night for that East Central game, so we will be there, and we'll get the chance to chat on Friday and next Monday night as well.
All right, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Batesville head football coach Evan Ulrey joining us. Coach's Corner returns after this timeout. We've got South Ripley girls soccer to talk about here on this Monday night. Coach's Corner delivered by Isons on Country 103.9 WRBI.
Simmer and sear with confidence using a Maytag freestanding electric range with 5 elements, including a 9-inch and 6-inch dual-choice element, variable broil, and warming center. You can knock out mealtime in no time. The steam clean cycle and fingerprint-resistant stainless steel finish makes it easy to keep clean inside and out. Shop Garings today. Garings and Maytag, 316 North Main, Batesville.
Do you have joint pain? Joint pain doesn't have to be a part of aging. Adults with knee, hip, or shoulder pain can register now to get a free x-ray and attend a free screening and education program at Decatur County Memorial Hospital. Learn from orthopedic surgeons about non-surgical and surgical treatments that provide relief. To register, call 812-663-1279 or visit dcmh.net/events today.
Back to more Coach's Corner with Rob LaFerry, delivered by Ison's Family Pizza on 103.9 FM. Streaming audio on the WRBI app and with video on our Facebook page and at WRBI-TV.com.
Back with Coach's Corner on this Monday night, already episode 4 of the new season of the show. Rob with you here inside the Raver Corner, and we're going to switch gears, talk a little girls soccer here on this Monday night. We're talking South Ripley girls soccer with first-year head coach Robert Green. Coach, this was a team a season ago that had just one win on the docket, and here you are tonight talking with us for the first time, 5-4 on the year. It's been a great start for the Lady Raiders.
No, it really has. We have a great group of girls that have worked really hard together to get to the point of to have 5 wins on the season. And that's including 6 new players. We had 5 starters returning. We have Kelsey here with me tonight that get a chance to talk to her that didn't get to play last year due to injury. So she's one of those, didn't play a lot last year, but she returns too. So we've been very, I've my first year as a coach, I've been very lucky and blessed to have some players that are really putting everything on the line and working really hard. Continue to be successful this year.
First year as a head coach here with the girls soccer program, every new coach brings their own thing a little bit to their style and to the program. As you enter this program, some things that you have tried to instill and some things that you really focus on as a head coach?
I think they would tell you the number one thing is communication, always communicating on the field, know where everyone is on the field. But also I'm a big individual that likes to have fun, and I want the girls to come together and have team building as much as we possibly can. And that's one thing I think really is set the stage for how well they've done this year is they really get along and they really like each other.
Take a look at your season so far. You guys got out to an 0-2 start, but you're 5-2 since then. You take a look at the losses that you had. You know, outside of a Milan, you've had 3 losses against some bigger programs, Madison and Greensburg. I know Switzerland County is about the same size, but when you consider how strong their girls soccer program is, they seem like a much bigger school. So you guys have played some really good competition, and when you look at those losses, you've bounced back with wins against some really solid teams.
Yeah, I know that's one thing I told the girls the other day. We started off 0-2 against Milan. We had 11 players. Against Madison, we only had 10. And I thought they responded really well when we took on Hauser. We finally got our 11th player eligible, and that really turned the corner for us. I think we actually had 12 that game. I think we actually might have had a sub that game for the first time all year. So, and that really made a difference, especially when you have subs that can come in and give a quick break for the girls. So they responded really well. And as you said, we lost to Milan, Madison, and then we lost to Greensburg and won 2 more, 3 more before losing Switzerland County. So.
Talk about that Switzerland County matchup. We won't talk about what the scoreboard said in that game, But, obviously it's a really strong program, a sectional foe later on down the road. They're kind of that standard bearer away from a team like Oldenburg Academy in this area, who's number 1 in Class A. You've got the number 1 team in Oldenburg. Switzerland County was number 7 last week. So maybe right now they're not losses, but as you try to build this program up, just talking like with Coach Ulrey, it's a measuring stick match for you guys.
Yeah, it's Switzerland County game. They're actually moved up this week, so there's 6 in the state. So now in our sectional, we have number 1, Oldenburg, and number 6, Switzerland County.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, so it's a tough sectional, but like you said, it's measuring stick. I think the girls would admit we didn't play our best against Switzerland County. We were down a girl to an injury. We had 11 girls, no subs. At one point we went down to 10 in the second half. But I think we actually get everybody back this week from Milan, so we're really excited. So we'll have 3 subs because we have a new girl now eligible, a girl coming back from injury, and then another girl coming back this week too. So we're really excited to see what the rest of the last 3 weeks before sectional proves for us. But you're right, Switzerland County is that measuring stick. That's a program you want to be like in the future, and that's what we're going to continue to work through.
Well, you've got 3 girls sitting next to you, and when they walked in, I knew exactly who they were because once upon a time they were all, knee high with me as a substitute teacher back at South Ripley in the day, and now here they are. They're all grown up, and all 3 of them somehow are seniors, and I'm not sure how that really happened. But introduce your 3 next to you and talk a little bit about them.
So we have 3 seniors here. I'll start down here with Maddie Tingle. She started about the second week, I believe, of soccer. I think maybe Hauser was her first game. She has done really well for us defensively. Never playing soccer before. She has fit the role of back very well for us and done great in sub minutes. We have Maddie Hornsby here, who she plays back, defensive mid. She's the one player I always joke around that if there's a ball in the field, we will find her. She takes like 3 balls to the ribs every game. I don't know how she gets up, but she continues to play through it. It's amazing. And then we have Kelsey McCarthy. She has been the glue on the back end of the defense. She is a senior. She communicates, well, they're all seniors, but she communicates really well back there, puts people in the right position. And in several games, like the Union County game, I think she headed 2 or 3 that saved goals for us to help us win that. And that was a close game, 1-0. She's done that in multiple games for us, helping our new goalie back there, Lexi Bradley, and they've done a great job. It's great to see Kelsey back on the field after the last couple of years with injuries.
Well, Kelsey's got that microphone. We're going to go ahead and make sure she gets that up there. Kelsey, first off, talk to me about this injury. What type of injury did you sustain, and talk about the recovery process to get back to playing soccer?
So I was born with discoid meniscus, so my meniscus was really enlarged, and they had to go in and shave it down. I didn't really know I had it. I just knew that I couldn't extend my knee all the way. So then they dropped me in cheer, and that made me tear my meniscus in the front and back. So then I had to go in for surgery. That was my first surgery, was repairing my meniscus and shaving it down. My second surgery was, I believe, they shaved it down more, and also I think I tore my MCL. So I had to they gave me a cadavers MCL, and then they also took crushed up placenta, and they injected it into my knee and my other leg because I tore my hamstring in that leg playing World Cup. And then my other surgery, I've had 3 knee surgeries on the same, and my other knee surgery was again for the same meniscus, and I tore it again. It was shredded. So
she's a medical wonder, Coach.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
All right, so Kelsey, talk to me about how it's felt just to get back out there and being able to play soccer your senior season.
Oh, a lot better. From sitting on the stands or sitting on the sidelines, I would record the games and stuff, get everyone's water. But so I was basically managing the team for last year, and there was so many times where I just wished I could just go out there and touch the ball, because it just you can see so much and you just want to be out there, and it's very different being on the field and you're oh, I'm tired and everything, but then coming back from being off the field, you're I'm lucky to be here, and it makes you really think about those players who want to be there, and it makes you try harder.
I think the cool thing, obviously not cool being hurt and not getting a chance to play. I understand that. But the cool thing is with you recording games and you're sitting on the sideline, you are seeing the game in a different way than you might see it being out on the field. Certainly, I would think, even as a player now coming back, that experience has probably helped you out quite a bit this season.
Oh, yeah. And I'm able to just understand. I can call where the ball's going to go. Like, because I've learned from watching the sidelines how every game play or how every team plays. And I will say from watching on the sidelines and stuff, I'm able to, before I got injured and stuff, I'd be playing and I'd just be like, okay, well, we lost. And I take that loss as like it would really affect me. But now, since I'm back, I'm just trying to be happy all the time, just trying to make everyone upbeat, because at the end of the day, you only have so many games left before it's your last.
All right, let's go ahead. Kelsey, actually, before we go to Maddie, real quickly, and I've asked this with every senior I've had so far, it's fall, it's early, but future plans possibly lined up for you after graduation?
Do you mean like sports-wise for that?
Sports-wise, college-wise, whatever life plans you got after May.
I've thought about being like stenographer or something with ultrasound. Soccer wise, I can't do it with my knees. Like I think they'd give up on me before I gave up on the sport. So sadly I probably won't do anything with sports for college.
Would coaching possibly be a venue for you now that you've seen the game from the sideline? Would coaching ever be something of interest?
I would love to coach, but I think I just get like too into the game and stuff. I'd just be like, I'd want to run out on the field and just be like, okay, and if I was to coach, I'd just like help out, maybe come back and help out with girls soccer, maybe just a little bit.
There you go.
That's probably all.
All right, well, now we'll go ahead and turn that microphone over to Maddie, and I won't say that. Well, I will say that she was my little buddy once upon a time, and now here she is as a senior and away from my classroom. But Maddie, so far, you guys have won 5 matches, and we had mentioned it with Coach Green. Last year, this was only a 1-win team. What's been the difference? What has changed from last year to this year? It's your first year. Well, maybe you're the difference. There you go.
Could be,
Coach,
she
you
does
didn't
have
even
a goal
know
this year, so
there you go. Okay, so all right, now let's revamp here. What has been the key this year for you guys to have as much success as you've had?
I think just like amazing team, amazing teamwork, amazing coaches. Sorry.
I was gonna say, keep that microphone up to your mouth, pal.
We have an amazing team. I could not ask for a better team to be playing with. It's my first year, and they've done nothing but help and support me. And I just genuinely think that a good team on and off the field is what makes such a difference on the field.
Talk about off. What there are teams that I have been a part of and coached in the past that once the game is over with, they all go their separate ways. I feel like with you guys, that's definitely not the case. You guys are on the field and off the field together, and when you have that bond and that friendship, there's going to be those low moments, but it helps you guys bond pretty well.
At least once a week, we all go out and we do like a hangout and we do like a team bonding thing, whether it's just the movies or karaoke, like in the car. Like it's always something. We get a couple of the girls, if like we try to do the whole team, but whoever's available, and at least once a week we do something all together. And
you're a very well-spoken young lady, and I know you also can be a very outspoken young lady. How does your words help out your younger teammates? Because as a senior, you've got that leader tag on you. How do you go about every day helping out your younger teammates?
I just do my best to give them like advice, whether it, like I said, on or off the field. I'm not exactly super experienced, but if I can help, I do. Like I'm willing to work with them off, like even outside of practice if I'm able to, or I'll refer them to our other senior who actually does know what she's doing. It's about being encouraging. Mean words help nobody. They not mentally, not physically, nothing. Mean words help nobody. So just encouraging, motivation, that's the best thing that you can do.
Future plans for Maddie?
I went to major in psychology and become a therapist because mean words help nobody.
She's already got some good practice, Coach, and hopefully she is showing that on the field for you guys too. All right, Maddie, thank you, dear. And we're going to go to Maddie Tingle now. And again, we are talking South Ripley girls soccer as a part of Coach's Corner. Maddie, so far this season, some highlights for you on the soccer field.
So it's my first year playing, and I mean, just whenever I get the ball away from the other team, that's my highlight. Honestly, just kicking it to the other players.
Talk about, so then with that being the case, talk about the position that you play. What are some of the things that you have to succeed in? Kicking the ball away from them is going to be one, but some other things that you are trying to do on the field at your position.
So I play on defense on that the defense line, and I mean I just try to keep it out of the goal.
It doesn't get any simpler than that, Coach.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah.
And that's the whole goal, right?
There you go. Absolutely.
Yeah, as long as it gets across the field and as long as we work as a team.
You don't have a whole lot of time left for soccer this year. It's already kind of quickly on the back half of the schedule. So speaking, Maddie, with regards to your entire team, what are some goals that you have for the rest of the season?
I just want us to be able to come together as a team, and I want to get the 9 wins because the most that our school, I believe, for the girls' teams ever won is 9 wins. And we're at 5 right now, and I believe we have 6 more games. So I just want to get to that 9 mark.
And you got a chance to do that coming up on Wednesday. You guys are at Milan. And, Maddie, you guys, I know, fell already this season to them. But, Coach said a little undermanned at the beginning of the year. And certainly that's a game that that you're playing a lot better now than where you were at the beginning of the season.
Yes, we've improved a lot.
All right, Maddie, future plans. What we got?
Well, I'm between 2 things. I'm between going into dental hygiene or doing something being an ultrasound tech.
So I've got my medical people. I've got a psychologist. I've got all kinds of stuff, Coach.
If you ever need help in the future.
We got all kinds of help our way. Coach Green, we'll leave it at this. We mentioned Wednesdays at Milan, Saturday at Austin. From a coaching standpoint, where do you see the Lady Raiders at for the rest of the fall?
I think we're going to play really well down the stretch. We have everybody back. Everyone's healthy for the most part, as you know, as season goes. I think the Milan will be a measuring stick of what we started at the beginning of the year. They have 2 talented players in Dorico and Bledsoe. If we can keep them in check, I think we have a good opportunity to go in there and maybe get a win. And then, like I said, we have 6 games left. We'll play 3 teams that we already played so far, so that we've already seen them before, so we know how they play, and then get ready for sectional.
All right, Coach. Good luck the rest of the season. Girls, thank you very much for joining, and don't ever hesitate to stop by and talk more soccer.
Anytime.
South Ripley Girls Soccer head coach Robert Green and 3 seniors on board with as well. We're going to go ahead and step aside, take another time out. More Coach's Corner after this on Country 103.9 WRBI.
When it comes to you and your family's health, finding a primary care provider you can trust makes all the difference. At Margaret Mary Health, our providers aren't just here for you when you're sick. They're dedicated to being your long-term partners in health. If you're looking for a medical provider to help keep your family well, give us a call or visit us online. Our primary care providers are accepting new patients in Batesville, Brookville, Osgood, and Milan. Margaret Mary Health. Generations of care.
It's back. Our delicious chicken bruschetta pizza is back. Cecil here. I'm interrupting this commercial for some important news. Our operating hours are changing to better serve our customers and to better take care of our team members. We will be closing at 8 p.m. Sunday through Thursday. That's right, our new hours are Sunday through Thursday from 10:30 a.m. to 8 p.m., then Friday and Saturday 10:30 a.m. to 11 p.m. Come let us serve you. LicensedFamilyPizza.com, 812-933-0333, or 117 East George Street, downtown Batesville.
Coach's Corner with Rob LaFerry continues. Watch us live on WRBI-TV.com or on our Facebook page, and hear us live on the WRBI app and 103.9 FM WRBI.
With Coach's Corner on this Monday night on Country 103.9 WRBI. Coach's Corner delivered by Ison's Family Pizza. We've talked Batesville football. We just wrapped up talking South Ripley girls soccer with head coach Robert Green and his 3 seniors, Maddie Tingle, Maddie Hornsby, and Kelsey McCarthy. And now we are going to talk some Greensburg girls golf. It's funny that we just break out of a South Ripley segment And now you've got two South Ripley graduates talking to each other who definitely do not wear that shade of color anymore. But Greensburg girls golf coach Josh Grossman joining us. And Coach, it's been a very quick girls golf season. It seems like it starts earlier than everything else, which it does. And just in the blink of an eye, it's all gone, and already entering the final week of the regular season.
Yeah, 7 weeks comes and goes pretty quick, especially when you're getting everything started at the beginning of the school year as a fellow teacher. So,
well, talk about this past weekend. We'll start there. You guys had your EIAC championship match this past Saturday. Greensburg, fourth place finisher. He put together a team score of 442. I know I talked with some Batesville girls golf folks over the weekend. It sounded like, just for everyone all together, Arbor Crossing and Connorsville presented a lot of challenges.
It's a difficult track. The front nine was built early. Back nine has a lot of characteristics. It gets a little bit of target golf, very similar to here at Hillcrest. So, yeah, if our girls haven't really seen it before, we saw the front nine earlier in the year, and then we were lucky that we got to see it back-to-back weekends. So Kaylin Adams, my number one, gets 6 overall. 100 is a pretty good score out there, and she's 10 strokes worse than that the weekend before. So it was really beneficial for my girls to get to see that before they got to come back again that next weekend. So,
and you take a look at, Kaylin Adams, again, all EIAC with the 6th place finish overall. And if anyone out there who follows golf, especially at the high school level, knows that, when you're in the EIAC, you've got a lot of competition. Obviously, Batesville, who is the top team, they emerged as champions for a 5th year in a row, and they're state ranked. But you also throw in Rowan Pies at East Central, and it's a pretty competitive conference for your team to get to golf in.
It really is, and you here at Batesville, Coach Sievert's had them for a long time, and Coach Meyer as well. A really good group of girls. They really put a lot of time in, and so does Pies. So it's been really neat to get to watch those teams. And Ava and Roe are seniors this year. So, but to see them build that program and the way they've been going. But yeah, we've been young, we've been rebuilding. I didn't have a senior at all last year, and for us to make the regional as a team was something pretty special for that. And we're hoping we get another shot at it this weekend. It's always nice we get to play at our home place. That's the one thing this week. I say, girls, we're getting to practice a little bit more than everybody else does because we're seeing the real thing. So
practice, and that's going to be something that I'm going to talk to you about because we have not talked about golf on the show yet this year. I think the common mistake is that when we are talking about golf, practice is, let's go play 9 holes after school and call it a day. It's a lot more than that. Yeah, there are going to be those days where you're out playing 9 holes, but there's a lot more other things that go into it as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of different aspects of hitting balls on the range, at least once a week. And you're talking about some of the big stuff that, you have a program here at Batesville, and a lot of simulator golf in the winter. A lot of girls are putting in a lot of time, on their carpet at home, having a little touch here and there. We hit the range, we hit the putting greens afterwards, some gate drills and things along those lines. Putting, especially this week in Arbor Crossing, I tell you what, those greens were pretty quick, and the weather has been fantastic for a lot of golf courses to get those greens sped up with it. Normally we're in 95-degree, 100-degree heat, and we've been in the 70s and 60s over the evenings, and that's allowed the greens to be quickened up. And so Arbor Crossing and this weekend they'll be a little bit quicker than what they have been in the past years. So
I think Mother Nature's trying to make up for how bad boys golf was in the spring with all the rainy conditions and some very slow greens. But here in the girls golf season, Josh, just talk a little bit about your roster and your girls that make up your team.
We've got tomorrow we've got Batesville and Lawrenceburg for our senior night, last one there at home. So I've got 3 seniors, Mary Harmon, Lydia Hersley, and Madison Ortman just joined us this year. So I recruited those girls, and they've kind of picked up golf. Lydia, first year as a freshman, and Mary, her first year as a sophomore, and we got Madison this year. So they've done a lot of growing over the last few years, which has been big. And then, Mary's taken my number 2 and Lydia my number 3. With Kaylin Adams has been my number 1. She's really improved a lot this year. She had a great conference and got 6th place last year as a freshman, and has really come on strong this year. Average about a 44, 45 pretty regularly. So, and then we're a little bit young, a little bit green on that backside. But Ella Kate Stewart is a freshman this year who she shoots a 110. She has a 9-stroke improvement last weekend from Arbor Crossing. So we're seeing some movement in the right direction. And I know we lost by 30 to, well, we've got Franklin County, East Central, and Batesville are really our big top competition coming into this weekend. So we're a little bit behind, but we do have that little home field advantage. So we're working hard this week and trying to take off. So.
And, of course, girls golf sectional this weekend. We're talking Greensburg girls golf with head coach Josh Grossman. Greensburg Country Club hosting the sectional. The way this works, the top 3 scoring teams get the automatic bid to the regional, and the top 3 individuals who are not on qualifying teams make their journey as individual finishers and advance to the regional. And it's a very large field. You've got a lot of good golfers. I know, very happy last year to be advancing out with your group. That's obviously the goal again coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, we'd love to put together the round that we've been hoping for. We did it once this year. We shot a 182 at Royal Highlands, and that's the potential they have. But golf is a different animal. It's a different course, a different night, and the conditions can hit you just right, or sometimes they hit you wrong. So we're putting in that work this week, and we're looking forward to having a great match. And we've got some great competition. We're going to get to play with those girls, and we enjoy seeing the conference specifically do well as well. Those girls are really friends with those other girls, so it's good.
Greensburg Country Club, talk about some of the challenges that course presents.
We've got a lot of blind shots. We're uphill, downhill. We're Decatur County, but you would think it'd be pretty flat. But if you've ever played Greensburg Country Club, there's a lot of undulation. Not quite like Arbor Crossing, but so we're seeing some things along those lines. You got to hit the ball in the right spot, and the greens have quickened up this last couple of weeks. So we're trying to put ourselves in front of the green with an uphill putt at it, and hopefully good things will happen.
All right, well, Coach, we'll go ahead and let you go. I've enjoyed keeping up with the Greensburg team on Facebook through the Facebook page that you guys have for the program. But tomorrow night, you've got senior night with Batesville and Lawrenceburg. Sectional coming up this week. Best of luck for those two, and hopefully we see Greensburg advancing in the postseason.
Well, thank you very much. I do have to give a shout-out to my assistant coach. Mark Adams has done a fantastic job with our Facebook and keeping everybody up to date. So, Rob, we really appreciate it. All right, and we'll like listening to your show.
All right, absolutely appreciate it. I'm sure I'll see you in a referee shirt coming up this winter, and we'll keep things still friendly between us then.
It's coming up pretty quick, so thanks a lot.
Not a problem. Josh Grossman joining us with Greensburg Girls Golf. We'll step aside, take a break, and we'll stay in Decatur County. North Decatur football up next on Coach's Corner on Country 103.9 WRBI.
You only have one smile. Make yours the best it can be with Batesville Dental. For over 40 years, Batesville Dental's provided the latest technology in their state-of-the-art facility. They strive to make your visit a pleasure. Doctors Broughton, Liedermeyer, and Roberts and their staff offer preventative care, Invisalign, implants, extractions, and cleanings to keep your mouth healthy and your smile beautiful. Batesville Dental, 391 Northside Drive, Batesville. You only have one smile. Make yours the best it can be. Batesville Dental.
We don't sell you cars, we help you buy them.
Fleetwood Chevrolet at 950 North Michigan Avenue in Greensburg invites you to visit them. They're here to help you with your next new or pre-owned vehicle purchase, as well as all your service and parts needs. They're the home of Greensburg's only drive-in service lane and free oil changes for life with the purchase of a new vehicle. Give them an opportunity to earn your business at Fleetwood Chevrolet.
We don't sell you cars, we help you buy them.
More Coach's Corner with Rob LaFerry, courtesy of Ison's Family Pizza. We're on 103.9 FM, streaming on the WRBI app. And you can see the show live on Facebook or WRBI-TV.com.
And we're back one final time here with Coach's Corner, delivered by Ison's Family Pizza in terms of our in-person interviews tonight. Of course, we'll come back and wrap things up here in just a little bit. We've talked football tonight. We have talked girls soccer. we have talked girls golf. Now we're going to head back to the football side of things. North Decatur head coach Steve Stern joining us, and North Decatur now 4-0 on the season, a 66-0 winner over Brown County last Friday night on the road. 60-plus points, Coach, the second time this season. Last Monday we talked about making that trip, not taking things for granted, and your team playing awfully well.
Yeah, they did. I think every opponent, I don't know that people believe it, but every opponent offers a certain level of challenge, whether it's a style they play or the situation where someone said, is this a trap game? Well, any game's a trap game if you let it be. I thought our guys came out with a good focus. We had a good week of practice. And again, leading into this game, Brown County had shown flashes. At one point, they were throwing the ball like 74% of the time. And you do that enough, and big plays can happen. But I thought our guys stayed pretty focused and just played the game. And then the good things happened, and they got away from them.
57 points in the first half, and there's a running clock there in half number 2. But one of the things that you have to like in a game like this, and obviously you're proud of your first string guys who come in and make an immediate impact. But this is one of those games where, because of that score, you get a chance to throw in a lot of different guys on the football field and give some guys that experience at the varsity level.
Yeah, we talk about we have goals, we have game goals, and as our young guys transition into the game, it's nice when you can blend some twos with some ones and then transition into your JV guys. The goals don't change. We don't have varsity goals and JV goals. If you're on that field, you're responsible for the same goals just like everybody else, where you've got to do your part. And I thought our guys did. I thought starting the game, we did a really nice job of not being sloppy where you can in those games, and the score starts to get away. But I'm proud that we did, and we had 0 turnovers, and we needed one of those to prove that we can. There were a lot more positives, came out healthy, and everybody got to play. So those are things you can build off of, and I think the everybody get to play thing is important. Those young guys do a lot all week, and they don't get a whole lot of time. We play as many JV games as we can. Our JV game got canceled tonight with Brown County due to their numbers. So we'll pick up again next week. But it's fun. It makes the bus ride fun. Locker room's good. Everybody feels like they're a part of it.
There were guys, obviously, that stand out. Going through the statistics last night, Matthew Fields throws his 3 touchdown passes. Corbin Thackeray was huge on special teams with a pair of touchdowns. Simon Barber was really effective again. And yes, it's great to see that consistent success for them. But then it was also nice to see names thrown out like a Hayden Caney, who came in at running back and played really well, over 100 rushing yards for you guys.
I thought he did. And it's in him. It's hard because he's kind of in the shadows, and the opportunities are coming for him. When we're a true fullback, tailback guy, he's got to be our fullback. And there are times that we don't have a true fullback on the field on purpose. I think it makes it more difficult to defend Simon and Corbin, but Hayden plays a role, and to see him kind of step through that across that line and really produce, I was proud of him. He had a couple catches, but those runs were really nice, and we need that going down the road.
One of the other things going down the road that you and I have talked about, you can't be a one-dimensional team, especially on offense, especially when you're facing great competition down the stretch or in the postseason. So I think even when you look at the game and the 57 points in the first half away from running the football, probably good to see Matthew Fields kind of slinging the football around too.
It was. I thought the week before he had a tough night, but I'm not sure that we didn't put him in a tough position at the same time. You forget. And when you're around him so much, you forget he's a sophomore and he doesn't have a lot of game experience. Last year he was kind of a relief pitcher that was very situational, but yet he still got a lot of growing ahead of him too. And I think some of my play calling a week ago put him at a disadvantage. It was nice to get him in a little bit of a rhythm, get him in a comfort. He's got a lot of good football ahead of him, and him throwing the ball does make us more difficult to defend because I think he's put on film. He can throw it deep, but he's also very accurate as well.
Talk about defense, second time this season that you guys have shut out an opponent, and much like the offense, you had some of your go-to guys who made their impact, but Then I'm looking again last night, and a guy like Jimothy Ralston stands out.
Jimothy's a young guy who would he's a starter on our JV team, but he's a sophomore that certainly can blossom. If he does blossom, it makes that class really good with Charlie Parmer, Matthew, and Simon being a big part of that class. You got Henry Kinker as a part of that class, and now Jimothy steps up and does this. The thing you know about Jimothy is he's going to play really hard. He practices hard. He really likes football. And to see him go out there and get the interception, which was a big play, a couple big tackles, very aggressive. I'm proud of him, happy for him. But, he's earned it. He's earned the opportunity to get those, and now he's cashing it in, so good for him.
Week 4's in the book, Coach, and as always, you've got your players of the week in several different areas.
Yeah, we picked Hayden Caney offensively as a player of the week, like we had talked about. Defensively, Hunter Meister, very consistent, led us in tackles. Charlie Parmer, it's hard to run on us consistently because as active as Charlie is. Special teams went to Corbin Thackeray. Key hit was Tyler Dean. Offensive line was Logan Foster. Logan's a junior, young guy who's developed into a really good football player that's contributing on both sides of the line. Honorary captain this week is going to be senior Nolan Barber. Scout players of the week were Jimothy Ralston and Braden Yeager. So, again, we try to identify guys. We try to spread the wealth, and I think that's important when you try to maintain and grow a program. The more people that are involved, Evan talked about, you got to develop depth. Well, part of that depth is getting the buy-in, and stuff like this, I hope, helps our buy-in.
All right, Coach, 4-0, 2-0 now in the MIFC. Of course, this past Friday was your second conference game, and now going into this upcoming Friday night, you're on the road again. You are taking on Switzerland County, who's also coming in at 4-0, and if there was anyone laughing about Switzerland County, certainly last week, no one's laughing now.
No, and even when people may have been laughing, I was never one of them. I'll go on record back to when they decided to start football, and I told some people they are a sleeping giant because they got the things that you need. They've got the natural resource, the players, the big, the tough, the physical. It took a while to get the football acumen, if you will, but the natural resource is there. There's a lot of great coaches out there that if you don't have the players, it doesn't really matter. That old thing about the better the players are, the better you are as a coach. But you've seen it coming. They've got a lot of experience, and that's the first thing that jumps out on you on film. They do less, but they do what they do better than they ever have. And there's a confidence in that, and there is a comfort in their guys play fast. So I am not surprised by it. I was curious to see how the game went, and I think if you talk to anybody who was at the game, could have went either way. But even then, what leaps and bounds that is for Switzerland County, because there's a mental hurdle you've got to get over, right? That they had never beaten Milan, and now we're in the same boat. So the thing I told our guys today after practice is that we've been in big games. This is not the biggest game we've been in. It's the biggest game we have this week. But we're going to have to lean on our preparation against things that we did leading into, like a Sheridan, like a Milan week, like a Indianapolis Lutheran, like a West Washington. We've been there. So you know what those games look and sound like, and you know that very easily 4 to 6 plays in this game are going to probably determine the outcome. You hope they go for you. And I told our guys there's no heads up before the play happens. Hey, guys, this is one of those plays, because then everybody would dial it in. But it is that kind of game. It is going to be a physical game. I'm sure that they're going to be very emotional. They're going to have a great crowd, great atmosphere. So we need to go in there and focus on taking care of us, but make sure that we understand the state of mind of our opponent and how badly that they want to beat us, because we had to get over that hurdle. That as our target grew on our back, I felt like our guys never appreciated how badly some people wanted to beat you. I think if you ask Jake Miners, how bad do you think people want to beat you? He knows it's bad. And that motivates him. And you have to understand that. And I don't mean that in a derogatory way to anybody. When there's somebody who you've not beaten in a while, that target just grows and grows and grows. And you always have to remember, they really want this. You've got to want it too. You just can't show up and mail it in.
Talking North Decatur football with Coach Steve Stern as the Chargers prepare for Switzerland County this week. That game we were talking about, Switzerland County upsetting Milan last Friday night, 21-14. Switzerland County had never been less than 27 points within Milan until this past Friday night. They scored with 4 minutes to go to win that ball game. And, when you take a look, obviously, I think for Switzerland County, the defense has to leap out first, considering you hold a Milan offense that's very high octane than just 14 points.
Yes, I thought they made Milan really uncomfortable. Again, they're very aggressive and not overly complicated. They do some things that you look at and you find it interesting, but they keep it simple enough. Their kids play really hard, and their kids are full of confidence. And I think it's up to us to make them uncomfortable. We've got to change the picture a little bit in terms of what we do offensively and defensively. If we just line up in the same place every play, we're going to put our kids at a disadvantage. So to offset that, but yeah, defensively, where they've given up 35 points on the year, that's hard to do over a 4-game span. And we know it's going to be a good game. We know they're going to have confidence, and they're going to keep doing what they do until we make them change. And that burden falls on us. It is not up to them just to, we need to change. I don't think they're very motivated at all to change. Why would they? Why would you go in and tell your kids, all right, this week we have to do something different because what we're doing is working, and they're going to continue to do that until you can force them to change. And that will be important in this game. Whether it's even if it's subtle changes, that will be important for us. And that's one of the things we've tried to hang our hat on. We're defense first. I mean, people talk a lot about our offense, but since I've been there, it starts and ends with defense, and it's always taken away what they do best. And we'll see if we can do it.
Talk about their offense real quickly, Coach. Switzerland County, a former employer of mine, so I've seen quite a bit of Pacer football over the years with Coach Jessup in charge. It's a unique offense because they really pride themselves on some strong backs. They're going to throw a lot of different looks, and obviously they're going to want to try and control that game clock.
Oh, there's no question. You saw them doing that against Milan on the film. They're letting the play clock run down, shorten the game. I told our guys that this is a game that can be a low possession game because if you let them drive 8, 10, 12 plays, whether they score or not, it's just the fact they're taking big chunks off the clock. Don't be surprised if we kick off to them. You may not get the ball till 5-6 minutes left in the quarter, and you're going, well, how do we get to halftime? That's part of it, but they are. The backfield is full. He's very proud of the fact that I think they threw the ball 3 times last week, and that's big for them. But sometimes you tip your hat because I think sometimes I do things just in spite of myself that down the road you're going to need to throw the ball, and so we really fight to get balanced. They're not interested. If they're running the ball and you haven't stopped it, they're going to run it all night, but they can throw it. I think athletically they've got some pieces, and it's that style of offense. If the 3 backs are not immediately in the backfield, they're darn close. And what happens is your DBs start getting closer and closer to the line of scrimmage. Next thing you know is one of those guys has snuck out and he's behind you. And you go, wow, that's a terrible passing game. Well, but it's effective, right? If we throw 3 times, complete 3 of them for 100 yards, that's a pretty good night.
All right, well, Coach, that's a 7 o'clock kickoff for you guys on the road in VV on a Friday night. Safe travels venturing down to Switzerland County, and all the best, and we'll get a chance to talk about that one coming up in a few days.
I appreciate it, Rob. Thank you.
North Decatur head coach Steve Stern joining us. One more timeout, then some final words for tonight from Ison's Family Pizza. It's Coach's Corner on Country 103.9 WRBI.
In case you hadn't heard, Scripture Auto in Greensburg is now a part of Whitewater Motors.
If you have an issue down the road, you can call Jamie Scripture or Dave Scripture. Try that at some of the bigger places. It's just customer service. We've been taking care of people for a decade. That's our biggest thing. We treat them like family, always have. Rest assured, Dave Scripture and myself, Jamie Scripture, are still here running the business. So that's the big thing.
Visit them online at whitewatergreensburg.com.
When looking for the highest standard of HVAC service and care, turn to Hurt and Elko, your local Lennox Premier dealer. Hurt and Elko and their Premier dealer status means you are certain to be working with a company who has the highest level of training, professionalism, and customer satisfaction. For a limited time, they're offering up to $1,900 in rebates on a brand new Lennox system or finance with low monthly payments. Call Hurt and Elko today at 812-934-4646 or visit them online at hurt-elko.com to learn more. Conditions apply. See dealer for details.
It's Coach's Corner with Rob LaFerry, delivered by Ison's Family Pizza. Listen on 103.9 FM and the WRBI app, and watch on our Facebook page or at WRBI-TV.com.
It has been a busy night here at Ison's Family Pizza inside the Raver Corner as we put a wrap on tonight's episode of Coach's Corner. A big thank you to those of you joining us on the FM dial, as well as WRBI-Radio.com, the WRBI app, and WRBI-TV. A big thank you to Brent Lee and John Heil back in the studio, and always to my left, Annie Nunley. You can't see her, but she is our on-site engineer. She's our off-site face, but the on-site engineer. We certainly do appreciate her efforts, along with Brent and John as well. Also, big thank you to our guests tonight, Batesville head football coach Evan Ulrey, South Ripley girls soccer coach Robert Green, along with his three seniors, Kelsey McCarthy, Maddie Hornsby, and Maddie Tingle, plus Greensboro girls golf coach Josh Grossman, and North Decatur head football coach Steve Stern. I want to remind you, coming up here in just a matter of moments, we've got Cincinnati Reds baseball for you. The Reds are not out of the wild card race just yet, but they really need to get themselves on track tonight as they open up a 3-game series with the St. Louis Cardinals. And for those of you curious about high school football coming up this Friday night, we have got one game for you, because both of our coverage area schools are going up against each other. East Central, ranked number 5 in Class 5A, taking on the Batesville Bulldogs at the Dog Pound. By the way, Batesville back to the 3A rankings, the number 12 this week. You'll have Rob Moorhead, Tom Snape on the call. That'll be a 6:40 pregame for you coming up on Friday night with a 7 o'clock kickoff. We hope you can join us on the app, on the FM dial, and of course on WRBI-TV. So on behalf of all of our guests tonight, and on behalf of Annie, John, and Brent, plus our friends here at Ison's for allowing us to serve up another episode for you, I'm Rob LaFerry saying so long, and we'll huddle up again next Monday night on Coach's Corner, delivered by Ison's Family Pizza on Country 103.9 WRBI.
Listen Monday nights at 6 for Coach's Corner with Rob LaFerry, live from Ison's Family Pizza. Come check out the show in person or listen on 103.9 FM or the WRBI app. And now you can also watch the show happen live at WRBI-TV.com or on our Facebook page. From Southeastern Indiana's local sports voice, WRBI Batesville.